Hey, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to talk with you really quickly today. In fitness and then when you're trying to pursue fitness goals, you always hear people say things like everything in moderation. And I've said that multiple times, probably to people who are watching this video in the past. And for the most part, I still agree with that. If you are being overly restrictive in your diet and you are saying, I can't have this, then you're setting yourself up for failure most of the time, because you're classifying things as good and bad, and we've got enough failure in our lives, or enough opportunity for failure in our lives to kind of set ourselves up for more. So what I like to suggest is to classify things as, this is an often food, a sometimes food, whatever, so that you can from there give yourself those allowances and try to make sure that each of those are in their sort of own category. I have encountered at this point, after I've been coaching a little bit now, I've encountered numerous people who they just don't do well with moderation. They have a much easier time saying, I'm not going to have any Oreos at all, than they do saying, I'm just going to have 1 or 2 Oreos. You know what I mean? It's like, if they have one, it's like they can't stop. And so I've kind of adjusted the everything in moderation now to saying, to kind of look at it more as like a kind of period you go through. Maybe for the next month, you're not going to have a single Oreo, or whatever the case may be. Do something like that, because especially if you've been dieting for a while, and you are not having any of these, and you're not having much of these things, when you go back and you have one of them, you're just like, oh, I gotta have more of this. And you just, we've all been there where there's something you like a lot, and it's not something you need to be eating a ton of, but it's just so delicious, you don't want to stop, So I would just say, rarely, there are only a few things in fitness that are absolutes that you have to stick to. Strength training is always going to be the best method of exercise. You always have to be in a calorie deficit if you want to lose weight. Surplus if you want to gain weight. You need protein. There's some non-negotiables, but when it comes to things like this, don't listen to the absolutes. If somebody says everything in moderation, but you're thinking in your head, I can't moderate this. You know what I mean? It might be good for you to don't tell yourself, I'm never going to have this again, because when you do that, you are definitely going to probably have that again, and then you're going to say you failed, and feel like you failed. And what I would say is set a time. The practical step of this is set a time. Say, for a month, I'm not going to have this, especially if it's something that you have regularly, such as soda. Soda is a big one that a lot of people have a lot of. Something specific like Oreos might not work. You might say, I'm not going to have any dessert type items for a month, something like that. Set an expiration date on it. See how that goes. See how you feel. See how it affects your weight, your body fat, all that kind of stuff, and kind of go from there. And if you do it for a month and you don't feel, and you feel much better, or you lose some weight or whatever, and then you start to introduce it back in and you see, hey, this isn't working so well, I'm feeling terrible, or, your weight starts to shoot back up. Usually that means your body is not responding very well to that, and it might be something you do want to then find a way to moderate, which is a whole different subject. But anyway, I hope this is helpful. Everything in moderation, except when it's not.